Hunter, who are you talking to? Huh? Who are you talking to? Say hello. Hunter, say hello. Hello guys, welcome back to our backyard garden. Welcome back to our blueberry series, and yeah, how to grow your own blueberries in container successfully. And the first and foremost, most important step is to plant your blueberries in the correct soil type, okay? And today I got a video on the mix that I use, and that has been working great for blueberries. So it is very important to plant it right and plant it correctly in the correct soil. Alrighty, first thing first, let's talk about the material we need. There is basically 3 main ingredients, and the first main ingredient is our sphagnum peat moss, okay? Right here, this is sphagnum peat moss, and I would not suggest you using any other alternative. Sphagnum peat moss, to me personally, is the best. Peat moss, this is what's gonna keep the moisture in our soil. And the main benefit is that peat moss has a very low pH. I think they have a pH of about 3.5 to 4.5. So, as you may or may not know, but blueberries, they love an acidic growing medium. They thrive with pH of 4.5 to 5, okay? I mean, they'd be fine in 6, but the optimum pH would be around 5 or 4.5. So, peat moss with a low pH of 4.5 is perfect. All right, that is the first. Hunter, no. Excuse Hunter. He's just gonna run wild for a little bit. Okay, our second main ingredient, and that is what Hunter is playing around with right here. You see these guys? These are pine bark, okay? Yeah, pine bark. These are finer, smaller in sizes. They average a 1/4 inch to 3/8 and a little bit less than 1/2 inch. So, okay. And why pine bark? Well, pine bark are also acidic. Yeah, they have a very low pH also. And the main benefit of pine bark is that they're very slow to break down, which is very, very important, because if you use any other type of media, over time, months and years, they will decompose and turn mushy, okay? And that is not what we want. So with pine bark, they are acidic, and they will take a long time to decompose. So yeah, that is our second main ingredient. Now for the last ingredient, it's right here, perlite, okay? Very chalky, crunchy, styrofoamy material right here. And why do we use perlite in our mix? Well, perlite is what is going to keep our soil very well draining. What I mean by that is that the perlite would prevent our soil mixture to not compact itself, okay? It will provide aerations, pockets for, you know, oxygen for the roots. That is the main purpose of perlite. Okay guys, fast forward a couple months. Here we are in the middle of December. Let's continue on with our blueberry potting soil mix. My son Hunter was wild, okay? So I didn't get done recording. So here we are. Anyways, let's continue. Now that I have mentioned to you guys what the 3 main ingredients is, let's talk about the ratio. Okay? To begin, this is my mix. It's my ratio. It is what works for me, for where I'm at. I'm in zone 7A, Amarillo, Texas. We get very hot summer and very cold winter and very windy. I would think it should be way more windier than Chicago, okay? So the ratio that works well for me is a ratio of 4 to 2 to 1, which is 4 parts of the pine bark, 2 of the peat moss, and 1 of the perlite. Now, of course, a ratio of 4 to 3 to half, 4, 3, 1, you know, 2, 1 and a half, they will all work, honestly. It's just going to be dependent on your temperature zone, your climate, okay? With my ratio, I do mix it up sometime. Sometime I do put in more peat moss because in the summertime the water does evaporate a lot quicker, okay? So, but 4, 2 to 1 works for me. You can do, you know, 1 to 1 to half, or just straight up peat moss, straight up pine bark. It will work. But the thing is, depending on how you do it, the water will evaporate fast or slow, all right? And I would recommend you guys to try out my ratio first, okay? If you find that it dry out too fast in the summer, then just add in more peat moss, less perlite. The main point of this soil mix is that you are using basically materials that is acidic by nature, pine bark and peat moss. Yep, you buy any blueberries in container and I guarantee you they have pine bark and peat moss in there with some perlite. I guarantee it. Okay, today is going to be a perfect example of what I'm about to do with the potting soil mix, okay? How to mix it, what I amended with, and how I plant a blueberry bush. Yeah, in the middle of December. I'm still able to because I have a greenhouse. And if you love growing stuff, build yourself one. Look up how to build a simple cattle panel greenhouse, okay? All right, let's talk about what do we do? How do we mix our soil, right? Wait. Before I even begin, I understand that I mentioned that I shredded my pine bark into smaller, finer sizes, okay? I don't want to make this video too long, but I will have a separate video on how I was able to do that. Basically, I use a very cheap wood chipper, one of those vacuum with a metal blade, okay? I will have a separate video on how you can make your own to shred your pine bark. There are a lot of ways, by the way. You can spend a lot of money, buy more expensive tools, but I will create a separate video on that. But it's very important, okay? Very important to have a good draining soil for blueberries. They love aerated soil, loose, you know, not too compacted. That is what I want to get you guys to understand, okay? A lot of different soil mix will work. But this one is very good. Very, very good. 4-2 to 1. You can try it out. Add in more peat moss. Make it 4-3 to 1, 4-3.5, or 1-1 to, you know, a quarter. So yeah. All right. I basically mix it all. Here I got a container about, let's see, 7, 14, about 16 to 17 inch in diameter. Mix it all well. Okay, I got it half filled because I am transplanting this one onto here. You mix your soil, wet it. That is important. Make sure you wet your potting mix because peat moss, they take a while to moisten up. Okay, make sure you wet your medium, your soil. Okay. At the same time, add in one of my favorite, soil acidifier. It's not elemental sulfur, okay? Those you can, okay? Here, soil sulfur. These are more for in ground, okay? This is pretty good for a container. And the instructions say 1 tablespoon for every 4 inches of pot diameter. What I do is I just grab a handful, 2 handful for this size container, about 15 gallon. You can add in 3 handful. Hell, even 4 handful, you'd be okay, okay? Just make sure you add some in. Mix it well. Mix it well in our soil, okay? And also the same with Holotone. This is my favorite fertilizer for blueberries in container. All right? Follow the instruction, but I just add in a handful or 2, okay, for my 15 gallon size, and just mix it in. These are organic, so you won't burn your plant. It will take a while to break down. All right, okay, let's show you how I go about planting or transplanting this blueberry and why this soil is perfect for blueberries. Okay, let me grab the camera and show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, here's an up close view of our soil. Okay, look how fluffy it is. Okay, break apart easily. You don't want your soil to be, you know, clumpy. Okay, the blueberry root system won't be able to breed. They love an airy, loose soil, fast draining but moist. Okay, that's the key, fast draining but moist. That is why you got to experiment with how much peat moss and pine bark you use, and it depends on where you are. Okay, but yeah, that's our soil. I filled up about halfway. All right, let's talk about, let me see if the camera can pick up the blueberry root system, and yes, it does. Okay, you see this, guys? I removed the mulch and I want to show you guys how fibrous the root system of a blueberry plant is. Okay, they are very, very fine. Okay, that is why the soil must be very airy and fluffy, easy to breed, easy to, you know, for the roots to move around. It is a very shallow root system. They don't have that much large tap root. Okay, those bigger, thicker roots. Yeah, that's why blueberries, they do great in container. Okay, you see that? Very fine roots. Okay, I will put it in and continue to talk to you guys. All right, and as I'm doing this, I will talk to you guys more about our soil mixture. You know, peat moss, okay? Peat moss, pine bark, those are the main ingredient, and I will stress this to you guys. You just got to experiment and see what works well for you and in your climate. But you got to incorporate peat moss and pine bark with some perlite in there. Okay, here, check out this up close view. I don't know if you can pick it up, but look at the root system, you guys. Okay, look at this been in this container for about a year. The pine bark is still holding up. That is good. It's not turning mushy. Look at how fibrous the root is. Okay, I'm just gonna break it up for you guys. Look how easy it falls apart. You see that? Very fine roots. That is why you don't want to plant this in the wrong soil. They will drown. Blueberry, they are sensitive to overwatering. With this soil mix, you are guaranteed not to overwater your blueberries. I cannot stress how important that is. I kill a few plants by overwatering, okay, because I had the wrong soil mixture. With this, as long as you water, you can overwater it, but it will drain fast, but it still hold the moisture, okay? It will prevent you from making newbie mistake by overwatering it, okay? Oh man, the roots is growing very good. All right, I'll just put it in. Maybe I will break it up a little bit more. Stress it a little bit. Okay, center it out. Got my pre-mixed soil right here, which I moistened already. Just gonna put it in. And in this soil, I already added in a handful of soil acidifier and some hollytones fertilizer, okay? So now just gotta fill the edge and compact it in. Man, very fibrous and dense root system, you guys. Now, if you don't want to make your own soil mix, that is fine. If you are just growing a few blueberries, plant in container, you don't need to go through all the trouble to shred yourself some pine bark, okay? You can find some potting mix, for example, potting mix for azalea and etc. Those are made specifically for acid-loving plant, okay? If you are lucky enough to have that in your local area, you are in luck. You won't have to struggle and make your own mix. But by making my own soil mix here, I'm able to save a lot of money because I have almost 30 blueberry plant, and this method saved me a lot of money. I know what is in the soil. I can control it. There is no funky additive or stuff that is added to it. I know what I put in it. So if anything goes wrong, I can fix that problem, okay? Instead of guessing of what is in the potting soil mixture. All right, very nice. I will grab some more soil acidifier, sprinkle it around. Handful, there we go, mix it in. All right. I know this video will be pretty long. I always want to keep my video short, but it's hard, okay? I just want to get all the info out there. So if you are wanting to grow blueberries and be successful for sure, then this channel is perfect for you because you can watch the whole video, the whole content, and learn a lot from what I learned, okay? Learn a lot from what I learned from me. All right, see that? Okay. Compact it in real well. Okay. I don't know if you can see, but it's about the base of the plant is about 2 inches or 2 to 3 inches away from the top. That is good because we are going to put an 1 inch to 2 inch layer of mulch on top. All right. See? And we still have room for the water to stay on top to sink in instead of falling over. All right. There we go. There we go. more on this side. Okay, done. All right, that is how easy it is. Like I say, if you have a lot of blueberry plants and you want to shred your own pine bark, stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel. I will show you a method that I use to shred it up, the pine bark, pretty fast. And yeah, I will conclude my video here. Thank you for watching, you guys. I love creating content, especially for blueberries. Oh, I can't wait until springtime get here so or summertime, we can pick a bunch of blueberries to eat, and I will, man, we all love it, right? And I want you guys to be successful like I have. I'm still learning, but I'm getting better and better and better every year. So there you have it. That's my own soil mix, a 4:2:1 ratio. You can modify it to your location and zone. Okay, just come away from this video with that knowledge and you will be on the right track. And stay tuned to my future videos on blueberries. So okay, stay healthy, stay blessed, you guys. Health is, yeah, health is all I want, what you should want, what I want the world to want, what we all want. Peace. Stay healthy, stay blessed.